I want to turn this over to Neha. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the production management webinar. Let's talk all things production management. I will start with my introduction and sharing a presentation about me and my journey. So here we go. So my journey in animation and visual effects production, I should have said gaming there. I think I forgot, but I I want to start about introducing myself, who I am, where I come from. So let's talk about Neha. Meet Neha, that's me. I have been part of the wild world of animation, film, and gaming and tech for over 13 years now. My journey started as a 3D artist. I started my journey as a rigging artist in 3D animation. And now, after years of being an assistant, a coordinator, production manager, line producer, I have segued a bit as a product owner for Autodesk, but I'm still very connected to the pipeline production, working on asset management platform with Autodesk, and it's trying to make life easier for visual effects and animation pipelines and how they store their assets, how the production works with their Autodesk software, which is Flow Production Tracker, which you will be learning when you enroll in the product management course at VANAS. So I've worked in everything from software as a service, RPG games, episodic, live action, films for animation, visual effects, Netflix productions, name it. I've been part of 2D, 3D, live action and gaming, all parts of productions. Um, I've led cross-functional teams, even dabbled in AI solution, streamlining processes, which is what I'm currently working on. When I'm not juggling in deadlines, budgets, and with the teams busy with other automate production processes, helping studios leveling up with their workflows, I'm into post-production magic. I like sound recording, making sure that the artists are working closely with the other studios that are our vendors. So, talking about vendor management, I've done all that fun stuff. And when I'm in on a break from the tech, when I need break from all this, I try to work on YouTube projects, learning storytelling for kids, and helping my husband with drone shots and looking the world in new perspective. So that's all about me. Uh, I will move on to the next part of my journey, which is my role as a production manager. So, as a production manager, how I turned on into this industry, what made me interested to be part of the production management in world, being an artist in earlier, how I segued into this industry. I'll talk about all that now. So I have been fortunate enough to dive into the world of production. And if you have ever wondered how to juggle thousands of moving parts, keep artists happy, and keep your clients happy with the top-notch creative work on time and the right place, you need to be a production manager. My journey started with the love of storytelling and creativity. That's when I started being an artist. And over the years, I moved from being a 3D artist to taking bigger challenges, doing a project management course because I was not fortunate enough to have a production management course when I was growing up. So when I got reached out by VANAS to be part of production management course, I was really excited because this is something which was never been out there. And I thought I can be part of giving back to my community by being at this place because it's the right place to understand what a production manager does as a production manager, not being a project manager, not being a production manager for construction, or not being a production manager for IT or banking, because that's what you learn as a project manager when you do courses from other big universities. Nobody talks about film production, how many moving parts are there, what all parts are important for being closely working with different mindsets like artist in animation or a modeler or a texturing artist. Everybody has their different way of thinking. And this course will really help us to learn about artist mentality, how they work, what questions to ask, how to work closely with creative people and creative mindset. And that's what we try to teach you. in this industry. So when I moved on into animation as a coordinator, my biggest strength was I knew the pipeline and I knew how, as an artist, what things I never liked about my production person when they used to ask me questions about, can you give this asset to me tomorrow? And I used to be like, do you even know how much time it takes to build an asset or build a rig? So knowing the pipeline really helped me grow as a good production person. And that's what we try to teach you by starting our production courses with teaching you about the production pipelines. What is animation? What is visual effects? What is gaming? And moving into how you tackle each part of that production as either a department manager or a coordinator or a person who is working closely with those artists when you're talking about the deadlines, when you're talking about the importance of the work that they are doing and when it is needed and how it is needed. So that's really entices me to be part of a production manager. So I started working as a production manager in 2011. As my first job was a technical coordinator because I am very technical. As you can see, I work with Autodesk right now, but I'm more of a people person before being into technical field. So from creating animated features, animated episodic, I've also worked into very short, small companies with short projects, delivering just assets or delivering just animation cycles. So it's anything and everything if you're part of this industry, basically. Moving on, if we talk about why animation, visual effects, like bringing stories to life, everybody says that because you are literally creating a character, putting a soul into it, and animating it. But it takes an army, like it takes an army to grow up a kid. It's the same for an animation. It takes a bigger army to make an animation project, and army needs leaders, and leaders are production management team. So we in the production management community are problem solvers, strategies, and motivators. So you know the problem. Your artist is not able to work on a certain asset because something is delayed in some other department. You are a strategist. You give them something else to work on by the time you're waiting on something from some other department, and you motivate. You don't tell your artist, hey, that just sit and chill till the thing is coming. No, you motivate them that, hey, you are amazing. Can you just work on this till the time they're waiting on that particular asset? So things like that really helps being a production person in this world. Then leading projects from animated creatures to RPG games. So this is about me. I have done feature films. I have done creature animations. I have done RPG games. Anything that needs to be done in this world and to be delivered, I've tried to work with all the moving parts of this industry and worked with them. Managing humans and creature animations, like we have all sorts of animators. When you work in live action, you have to literally replicate uh, a hero and make a 3D character of them, animate them. And if it's a creature, you create a creature, you animate that. And then there are lots of moving parts. You have to manage all of that. So it's all parts of animation, visual effects, and gaming and bringing everything to life. Moving on. Looking forward for myself, I am currently exploring automation in production tasks. I am a big believer of why do it yourself when you have tools that can help you resolve the solution. So if you have tools like Flow Production Tracker, earlier known as ShotGrid, before that it was known as Shotgun. I started working on it when it was still Shotgun. So I'm currently working on Flow Production Tracker with Autodesk. So when you can automate tasks, when you can make your life easier, why do you have to manually put in every minute detail? So I'm a big believer of that, and I think every production person should be doing that rather than manually creating each task, manually assigning each task when a software can help you. Why you want to do all that? So I'm continuously learning and trying to make it more efficient to make my life easier and my fellow production people's life easier. Continues to shape future of animation and workflow. I am here to help as a teacher and instructor to teach people how to be a good production person and also helping companies like Autodesk and Unity to come up with workflows where people can rely on them and use the tools to make their life easier. So being a part of the problem and being a part of the solution, both. Always looking for new ways to blend art and tech. I am also heavily relying on AI these days. A lot of this work has been done by AI, what I'm talking about right now, but my experience is my experience. So just sharing that. So if you are growing, you need to see how technology can help you blend and grow. And that's what my mantra in life, to learn from where the world is going and keep growing with the world. So I just want to say thank you for listening to my journey and how I became production manager and part of the production world in animation, visual effects, and gaming. Feel free to ask about me in the chat. Uh, my production management tips if you want any creative workflow hacks and balancing creativity. But we will move on to what VanAs has to offer in the production management course. I will first take you to how to navigate on our website if you're looking for the course in which probably I will be your instructor one day. So you'll come here, you'll see production management 1 year course, this beautiful lady sitting with a page, and you click on this. This is a 1 year diploma. You'll see my experiences here. And we have another amazing instructor, Kajal Patil, who is teaching another term right now. So these are the two instructors that we have for production management. Here you can look up online for the description of the course, admission, program outline, and this tells you in which term what you will be learning and how we'll be going forward from foundations to scheduling to individual production and then team production. I will take you through a quick presentation that I've created for what I teach in this course. So let's dive into that now. Okay, production management in animation and visual effects. This overview of the course that I teach at VanAs. So, what is this course all about? So, we'll talk about it's a comprehensive guide of production. So, you will learn about the production pipeline, not just animation, visual effects, gaming. We also touch some areas of live action because we are very similar to live action when it comes to visual effects. We tell you how plates comes from the live action set and what needs to be done when it comes into a studio, how it is delivered, because in animation you touch every scene because you are doing the whole episode or film yourself, but in visual effects you only touch the shots that you have contracted for, or the part of the film, or if you are doing color correction you're probably touching the whole film. But if you're creating creature animations, doing effects of blast and stuff, you're just certainly working on certain shots that are being contracted with. So that's what the part of the whole comprehensive guide is, like what comes to play when you are in the pipeline, what are the parts of the departments that you can work with. If you are starting as a newbie, you don't know the pipeline, then it's a good place to start, make your foundation about learning the lingual, understanding how each team works, how each team in your production pipeline works, like how the modeler works ends and which department works parallelly, which departments have to wait on certain departments to finish their work. So all that fun stuff is being educated in the first foundation part of your comprehensive guide about all the fields of animation, visual effects, gaming, and how things work. We talk about the entire production process. We from pre-production to post-production. We also talk about delivery, client delivery. We have also touched phases where we talk about postmortem, which is after the project is ending, what the production team does. So all these things are done very well, one after the other in a progression. So you learn not just how you start the project, but also how you end a project. Team management, which is a big part. We sometimes repeat this over and over again, how important team management is, because if it is same as any team management, be it software, construction, health, but it's kind of different when you're working with creatives and to tell them why it is important. There can be a lot of conflict control when you're working with a difficult director or somebody who is very passionate about some creative output and you're not able to give that kind of creative output with your team. So how to handle situations like this, how to be a good communicator, how to tackle budget schedules, and anything in context to creative projects. That is what we talk about in team management here. Skills to succeed, whether you are an aspiring producer, a veteran, an animator, a person who is like me, being an artist and now jumping towards being into production, anybody who has been working with smaller companies in a production scale and you want to grow into bigger companies, bigger projects, understanding how to budget, understanding tax credits, things like that. We touch base on everything and we take it, make sure that you understand the lingual and you are able to work and succeed in this. So that's the basic outcome of what you want to get from the production management course. Moving on, project scheduling and budgeting. If you work on a project management course like what I did from Centennial when I wanted to move into production, that was the only course that I thought that, oh, I should know how to do project management if I want to be a production manager. But it's not the same. You in project management, you will learn things about PMO, PMI, uh, certifications which are needed for banking, for other industry. When you do something related to production and how to schedule for production, it is different because sometimes you have generalists who can be a modeler for you, a rigging artist for you. Maybe they can do effects also. So how to manage resources in a creative workspace, how to schedule them efficiently and effectively is what is you learn in a course which is focusing on directly on production management. So we talk about constructing comprehensive schedules, which is with the tools like Flow Production Tracker, which is part of the program, and we focus on Excel and Flow Production Tracker because in multiple studios where I have worked, Flow Production Tracker has been the benchmark in the industry. But if the companies are not using, I've worked in smaller companies where they use Asana, Monday.com. We also make sure that we open those softwares and teach you how those softwares work, like Trello. If you don't know the softwares and if you have enough time, I always make sure I'm giving links to my students and ask them to explore those softwares, because if you're going for an interview and you say that you know ShortGrid and Asana, Trello, and other softwares, you always have a foot in because you know more than other people, right? So it's always a good thing to know more softwares these days, and they're all the same. If you know what you're exactly looking into, you definitely get to know from the softwares how the things are getting assigned, what is happening, all that. Allocating resources effectively, as I said, one person can be a journalist. You want to make sure that you're giving them a model, and by the time that model is getting finished, you have an FX ready for them. So if effectively how you're using an artist and using all their attributes to make sure that you're able to schedule them properly is what you'll learn when you do production management course. Moving on. Team collaboration. Team collaboration for project management is very important, and it is important for production management. Animators, editors, technical teams, all working together to create high quality animation projects. So you really need to make sure that you are also a collaborator. You know, if you're working with an assistant production manager or a department manager, and you're waiting on stuff from a particular department, how to manage it in a way that whenever they finish their work, you are able to start your work. Or if you're a production manager and you're wearing a hat, you are taking care of multiple departments, you are aware what your departments are going through, what issues or benchmarks they have set for themselves. And if there are any obstacles, you can help them overcome those obstacles in due time. And that can only happen if you have effective communication. If your team is not effective in communicating to you and you're not effective in communicating to other team members or other managers with whom you are either delegating or being delegated, you won't be able to achieve the project goals. And then shared vision. Everybody knows that that's the deadline. The movie is going out on a certain date. Everybody has to work towards that. So make sure that you are reiterating, making sure that people are understanding the shared vision. Everybody is talking about the same quality, same time, same budget to produce or deliver the project that you are currently working on. That's all done together. Next is workflow optimization. We also learn about workflow optimization in this course by streamlining production workflows, how you will manage or optimize anything unless you understand the pipeline. So more production efficiency, what methods you're going to use to make sure that you are able to streamline your work with other teams and other people of other teams, or maybe the client is not able to deliver you proper assets in time or files in time. How you're going to navigate that, what methods to use when you're talking to a client, what methods to use when you're talking to a vendor. We talk about all these things to make sure that you are able to deliver high quality and optimize and make sure the time is managed based on your budget, your timeline, and your schedule. Okay, moving on. Workflow optimization, we focus more on the pipeline design. If you don't understand the terminologies of the pipeline, you won't be able to establish a streamlined pipeline, how things are flowing from one department to another, how you manage tasks like utilizing software for project tracking. If you're I've always taught my students, if you are using ShotGrid, there are certain things that you have to do before coming up with creating the task. You have to come up with the statuses of the task. You have to come up with how the workflow will happen. So if I'm an artist and a asset has been assigned to me, how I'm gonna make sure that the assigned asset is being worked on, how the artist will flip it to in progress or ready for review. So I don't have to sit and talk to my artist every day. So optimizing or creating a workflow in a way that there is clear communication and people are able to talk between themselves or among themselves to make sure the whole work is happening properly. Communication, as I said before, it's very important to have communication and collaboration. And data storage, how the pipeline data gets stored. So if you have to deliver files to your clients or from your vendors, how the data is getting delivered, which version you are sending. Is your company going with latest or greatest, or your company is defining a particular method of delivering stuff to your clients or accepting stuff from your vendors? So we talk about all that in this course. Problem solving and crisis management, a huge part of project management. So how you become a problem solver, how you manage the deadlines, how you become the person who can smoothly move the project forward without having any assistant. We talk about all that in this course. And automation in production, digital tools and for automation, streamlining production efficiency without compromise, using the tools, as I said, to master your work rather than you sitting and doing all the work and not utilizing the tools to the best uh, of their efficiency. Conclusion, so become a production management pro. This course will really help you and guide you because we touch base on a lot of things that are required in this industry, which you would not get from courses like project management or PMO office, because film production, visual effects, animation, gaming is very different to what you get out there from a project management course. There are a lot of things that are outside the box when it comes to working with the creatives. So this course, you confidently manage complex animation and visual effects projects because you will learn about budgeting, you learn about resource allocation, you learn about creative pipelines, and then you have different options or different doors to choose. Like, do you want to be a game producer or game production person, a visual effects production person, or an animation production person? And then the choice is yours after doing this course. And master the art of balancing. That's for any production or project manager, how you balance the project delivery, resources, deadlines, everything, and keeping your cool, keeping your calm, and making it work for yourself. We have dashboard where you have your classes. This is the dashboard. You get access to this once you assign for the role. I have my class this evening. We have everything here. I will show you some assignments of my student for this term. If I go into my class, This is the screen grabs from the software Flow Production Tracker. This is the report that she created, the page for assignments. If I zoom in, you can see the project that has been worked on, the status of the project, the report from the project, the waterfall from the ShotGrid software itself, all the things that has been done in ShotGrid. We also learn about how you do bid allocation and bidding so that you can take the bids and then put it in the formula and get the budget calculation for what kind of artist you're looking for. If you need a modeler or concept artist, how you gonna make them, how you gonna pay them, for how many days you need them. That starts from budget allocation. So we teach artists or we teach students with a small nursery rhyme that becomes your project, and then it's easy to break it down into what exactly you're looking for, how you're going to break it down into different departments. This is currently a document for asset production. We do the same for shot production and get our bids in alignment so we can start calculating the budget for concept art, modeling, texturing, rigging, and total bid days for how many days you need that artist on that production. So that's how we learn about the bits. We also talk about crew management. So this is a crew sheet, what is needed if you work as an assistant production person or a coordinator and a production manager. How will you have your, what positions you might have in your film or animation project? What will be the data that you would need? This data has been generated using AI, but the list of artists has been called out by the student, like what artists they need, what teams they would need to finish up their project, and how many team members they would need, and what kind of sheet is required to make sure that you have a credit list by the end of the project. So things like this won't be taught in any other scenario. It's only part of production management course. So yeah, that's it. If you guys
Heini,
have any
there are
questions.
some questions in the chat. Here's a good one. Oh, these assignments you were showing, are they graded?
Yes. Yeah, we have a grading system. We have a review class on Mondays where I look at the assignment with the artist, give them pointers, what could have been fixed, what is looking amazing, and then we define the grading system based on that. So I don't grade in front of them; I grade in separately. But we have a review session just to understand how much effort was done in that assignment, and if they have any questions to come up with, they ask the questions in that review class, and I grade as per that.
Here's another question. Do you have to have previous experience to go to this course?
Not at all, because we give you the basics. We start with the foundation of what is animation, what is visual effects, what is gaming, and we take you from there. So if you don't have any experience at all, then also you're welcome to join this course and grow with us, because it's the foundations are managed really well in this course.
Okay. Is there a difference between a production manager and a production assistant?
Yes, production assistant is basically the first step of the ladder to when you join in a company if you don't have any prior experience as a production person. So production assistant, production coordinator, these are the two positions then you can start with into production in animation, visual effects, or gaming. And that's when you learn a lot of how things are done in a studio. And probably you can grow in as a production manager. But if you have prior experience and if you have managed projects, if not animation, maybe live action, and you want to jump into animation with courses like we have in production management and digital entertainment, with your prior experience as a PM, you can jump directly to a production manager.
Mm-hmm. Is a portfolio required for entering this course?
No, uh, I I don't think so.
No, there isn't. What skills would you say are essential for being a good production manager?
You need to be a people person, because a lot of creative people are very in their zone and they only talk to selective people. So it's good to talk to artists as a people person rather than just talking about work all the time. So if you go and say that, hey, where's my shot? Where's my shot? Where's my shot? They won't probably answer you. But if you're like, hey, how's your life? How are your kids doing? What's happening with that shot? They probably will answer you. So you need to understand the mentality of the team members that you're working with, how cool they are, how awesome they are in their work, and just try to gel with them and get the work rather than just talk about work, 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 work all the time. So
Mhm.
that is the most important skill, to be a people person.
So how special is this course? I mean, do you see other courses out there that are teaching people how to work in a animation studio, game
I've I've
studio?
not I've not seen a full-fledged course anywhere that takes you from ground up. Like there are micro courses for budgeting, for being like things that a producer does, but nobody gets you a step into a studio. So this is a course that will help you get a step in a studio if you have prior experience. Like I have a student, she's a producer for advertising and she has worked with gaming and visual effects, and she would like to jump into being a production for animation films. So she's doing this course which is helping her to grow and understand how things are done with multiple people rather than working just with clients and vendors for a small advertisement. So it really helps you understand the basics of animation, visual effects, and gaming, and to work towards achieving your goal in this particular field.
When do we start this course? I know we start it 4 times a year.
Yeah, the next one we are enrolling right now. So if you go on the website, you will see the program apply now. The classes starts on September 23rd. So that's the current one. So you all the information that you need to join the course is here. And Kelvin, I think you will be the better answer for this.
We also offer the course in the winter, which is January, spring, which is April, the summer, July, and you can see fall is the end of September. Here's a question. Would a PM deal with contracts and procurement? That's the first question. Do you deal
Okay,
with hiring?
so yeah, we definitely deal with hiring. We don't deal with contract, but we definitely give the HR management definition of how much time do we need that artist for. If it's a small contractual position, if it's a full-time position and the company has multiple projects, then an artist is usually hired for longer term. And then we see resource allocation wise, we companies usually have a resource manager who defines where the resource will be put after the project is over. But if it's certain that you need only that person for 3 months, then you put up the job posting in a way that the person is needed only for 3 months. You sometimes have to deal with contracts, the writer contracts, or if you're working with a storyboard artist, which is mostly freelancers, then you have to deal with the contract yourself. You have to not write the contracts. Contracts are already there with most of the companies. You take care of the contracts. You make sure that you have the contracts names and filled properly and sent out to the person who you are doing the freelancing contract with, and making sure the contract is kept properly, because if there is any audit, then contracts are checked, and as a PM you are responsible of keeping the documentation organized.
Good.
So
Last question I'm seeing here is, do you have feedback on any progression or placements from previous students taking this course? So they're talking about, have we placed any students? Have any of our students gotten a job yet? This is a brand new course, right? Has anybody completed the course?
no, my current the first batch is in the third term right now. They will be finishing end of this year. So nobody has finished the course yet. So no placements yet. But so far the feedback has been good. My student is really happy because she's also a 2D artist. So now she understands the production side more because she has been working as a freelancer. So it has really helped her to understand what is needed when she's doing her talks with the company in signing the contract, or working closely with the deadlines with them because she understands both sides now. So it has helped her grow in that way so she can understand what's happening in both worlds, not just being an artist and taking the work, but also understanding how to deliver the work, why the work is needed on time, or what deadline that they have provided her. So that has been a good outcome for her. So I can just say that for now.
Is there any last minute questions? I do want to thank Neha and everybody that's taken, their valuable time to attend this and learn a little bit about our new course in production management. Have a great day. And
Thank
if
you
you
so
do
much,
want
everyone.
additional information, contact us at info@vanas.ca. Thank you very much, Neha.
Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.